Thank you for tuning in to the Beauty Boss Millionaire podcast with Felicia Fracassi. Her mission is to empower you with short, on-the-go business tips and advice to help you successfully start and run your company like a boss. And now, here's your host, Beauty Boss Millionaire, Felicia Fracassi.
Welcome back to the Beauty Boss Millionaire. I'm your host, Felicia Fracassi, and the objective of today's episode is really just to point out the importance of using technology and upgrading it in your business as you progress, and how even using apps and applications on your phone can help keep you organized in your business. I have several apps that I use on a daily basis that I'm sure you either use or you should be using to help keep things going smoothly, because a lot of times I'm on the go. I'm driving in a car, or I have to stop and pull over and sign a document that may be urgent. I don't have time to get to a fax or a scanner. So they have apps nowadays that have all these things that I think people should know about. Some people don't know about them, and it causes them to be behind in business. And then there's some other things I want to get into. So one of the apps that I love using is my number one go-to app. Is called Sign Now. It's a really good app where you can basically just sign a document with your signature on it, because we're obviously in 2021, or you can just sign it on your phone with your signature and date it right all on your phone. Another app that I like is called Sign Easy. It's very similar to Sign Now. I kind of switch up between apps just because, but they're basically the same thing. Also, a really good app is called Scanner Pro. That's really good for, you can use your phone. If you have an iPhone or a smartphone, you can literally take a picture of a document and then save it into your file so you have a copy of it. That is so important if you have a lot of paperwork. I hope the rain is not ruining this podcast, because it's raining so hard here and you can hear it in this room. So Scanner Pro is really good because you can be on the go and you can simply stop. You can take a picture from your phone with the flash on or off, and it allows you to scan that document that turns it into a PDF or whatever type of file you need, and then you can send it via email. It's really helpful because back in the day, we had to have, you have to put the piece of paper down on the machine, and then you have to scan it in, and then God knows where that would go. You might lose it or whatever. Now you can scan it and it keeps a copy of it in your document file. And, some of these have where you can only scan up to 100 or 50 or whatever it is, or you can choose to buy the storage or whatever it is. But this is very helpful in business because as you progress, you're going to be having to sign documents and scan things on the go. And sometimes you're not going to be in the office. So it's good to have these things, especially depending on what type of business that you have. I know the guys in the construction world, this app is really helpful. For me, being the person that is the entrepreneur of the business, it's very, very helpful for me to use this app. Another app that I really, really love is called iFax. Now, with this one, and by the way, this is just me listing the things that I use. I don't have any affiliation with these brands, but I like iFax because I can turn my phone into a fax machine, which is so cool. So I simply scan the document. And I think they used to give you, back in the day when I started using this back in 2011 or 12, they gave you like 10 for free. Now it's like you have to buy these credits, but I'll gladly pay the credits or the monthly fee or even the yearly fee of like $100. And you can simply scan a document and fax it in. Now, this is priceless for me because, again, I'm at different locations in my company. I will be in one store in New York. The next day I'll be in Florida. And it's just easier to just simply scan it, fax it in, and send it into one of my vendors or whoever needs some type of documentation from me or whatever it is, a account that I'm opening up. It's just easier to get it to. And it shows that it's delivered, and it shows the quality of how it's delivered. It just does a whole lot of things, which is really helpful. It's just really important to go paperless. I cannot stress this enough, especially if you want to be organized. Going paperless is one of the best things that you can do. I don't even like to keep papers around. And as we've progressed throughout the years, we've used apps that you can just sign. Even your customers, when they come into your place of business, they can simply sign a waiver on some of the waiver apps they have. Just Google waiver apps and you'll find tons of apps. Let me look and see if I can find the waiver app that I use. I found it. It's called Waiver Forever. It's really good. You can have them sign, and everything that they signed is now in your vault forever, which is really nice because you're able to get consent forms, you're able to get release forms, you're able to sign contracts right then and there. So you're not searching for these documents every time you need to sign these with customers or with employees. Evernote's a really good one. Trello. And as you're organizing your business, you're going to need a lot of these apps to kind of just pull everything together. And it helps all the team members get on board. Instead of you having to yell about putting things into the same spot, you can now go to a cloud base, which is really helpful. Ring Central is really good. Live Plan is good. Cam Scanner is really good. Y'all all know about PayPal that has a really good way to have invoices. And even just iDrive. There's tons of apps out there that you really should get yourself familiar with. Just remember, Google is your best friend. And anytime you need an app or if there's a problem, Google it and just put the word app by it and you'll find a solution. And lastly, before we go into the next episode, I really want to stress the importance of making sure that as you begin to open up bank accounts and savings accounts and checking accounts, that you are saving. And all these apps, by the way, have passwords. You can choose to have the same password for everything, or you can choose to switch up the password depending on what you're doing. But just keep it all organized in an area so you have all these passwords. You can choose to save it on a notepad. A lot of my business friends have a whole little notepad dedicated to where their passwords are. And the reason why I'm just mentioning this is because I have over 35 bank accounts. Now, I know that probably sounds extreme. I'm sure there's billionaires out there that probably have over 300 bank accounts. Now, it's important for me to have all these accounts depending on what store I'm at or what business I'm doing, or if there's a checking and savings account for these accounts. But I have tons of passwords. I've got credit union accounts. I've got just tons of different business accounts that we have had throughout the years. And it's just good to have them all saved in an area. You can even save them into your phone contacts. Whatever it is that you have to do to stay organized, please keep everything organized. I know a lot of people love to use that keychain on the phone, but if God forbid something happens with that as well. So just try your best to have them all in a centralized area so you can find them quickly so you're not being unorganized. Up next, we're going to talk a little bit more about organization in your business and technology. And I've got some really good tips. Stay tuned because you're listening to the Beauty Boss Millionaire with Felicia Fracassi. Have a great day.
That's it for today. Tune in tomorrow for the Beauty Boss Millionaire podcast. And don't forget to follow the Beauty Boss Millionaire, Felicia Fracassi, on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Beauty Boss Millionaire.